What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Right now, I just got in and set up camp here at Pohick Bay Regional Park in Virginia here, right on the shores of the Potomac River. And I'm really excited. We got the MLF Pro Circuit event coming up pretty soon. And yeah, so beautiful campsite here. Actually, one of the most beautiful campsites and backyards I've had at a campsite in a lot of the parks that I've stayed at. So really excited about being here. It's just beautiful canopy surrounded by forest. There's like a water park down there through the trees, so you can hear the kids playing and stuff. So just a really cool campground. Got the Lance camper set up. Gonna hook up the truck pretty soon here. Just took off the extension hitch. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. But since I just got done with a 9-hour trip from Tennessee, which is pretty short considering, you know, compared to a lot of the other trips that I make throughout a year. But you know, I got to thinking about some of the mistakes I've made over the years, and you know, some of those situations that caused me to be stranded on the side of the road. You know, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I see a lot of people make mistakes when it comes to trailering your boat. And so I just wanted to do a real quick video about some of the mistakes that I see people make that are highly avoidable. And these are all mistakes that I've made myself, but they're very important. So hopefully this is going to help you out. But let's get started with some of the mistakes I see people make while trailering their boat trailer. And it doesn't matter if it's a boat trailer, travel trailer, it could be any type of trailer. These are the mistakes that I've seen people make. All right, so the very first thing that I want to talk about is right here. I mean, obviously this right here, the hitch is the connection to your truck. And so it's just really important to hook it up correctly. And really it comes down to, you know, the biggest mistake I see people make is, number one, they have somebody help them, you know, put the hitch together when they know how to do it themselves, and they're also in a rush. Those two things combined can really be a recipe for forgetting to do something and hook it up correctly. I really recommend that you don't let anybody hook up your trailer other than yourself. You know exactly what the components are, what the safety features are, and how you need to hook everything up. If you have somebody else, everybody wants to help, right? And you know, I constantly have people that want to help, you know, hook up the trailer, but really it's a one-person job. You got to make sure you've got quality control over your hitch here. Make sure that you connect the pin, all the safety chains and cables, the emergency brake cord here. All these things are really important to make sure that you do, and you know that it's done right. So take your time, make sure you do it yourself. That's the number one mistake I see people make. Now, the next mistake that I see people make, and this is the majority of people, and I was one of these people that didn't pay much attention to it. You know, when it comes to boat trailers, I think that we pay more attention to the actual boat and the motor, the engine itself, as far as how well that's running, and we don't really pay attention to the trailers. We neglect the trailers, and really a lot of the problems that you're going to have, whether it's a faulty bearing, the hub assembly, or an axle, a lot of these things can be avoided just by checking the hubs when you stop for gas. So at every gas stop, what I end up doing is I will, you know, start pumping gas, and then I'll walk back here to my hubs, and I'll just simply put my hand right by the hubs. You know, if there's excessive heat to where you can't keep your hand on the wheel or the hub assembly without having to pull your hand away because it's so hot. If there's that much heat that you have to pull your hand away, there's something wrong in the system, okay? You shouldn't have that much heat, even when it's super hot outside, all right? So there's a couple things that could be wrong. There's actually a few things. You could have a brake that is engaging too much for some reason. It could be something as simple as the brake actuator on the front maybe needs to be, you know, released. There's usually a release button or lever or something that'll release the pressure in the brake system. Sometimes the brakes, engaging a little bit too much, and that's causing the extra heat. A lot of times it's a faulty hub or bearing assembly. So you might have a bearing going out, and when you have a bearing going out, or you have the hub itself going out, you're going to have that excessive heat. But I can't tell you how many times I've found a problem with my bearings or my hubs over the years, or even my brakes over the years, with by just checking the temperature of the wheels here. Okay, that can really tell you if there's something going on there. Another thing that I see people make a mistake with is just neglecting to pay attention to grease that may be emanating from the hub assembly here. If you have grease that is streaking out from the center here, either on the outside or the inside, that means you've got some kind of compromised seal. So not only is grease coming out of your hub, it's going to let water in, and that's going to eventually compromise the bearings, and those are going to eventually go out. It's going to create too much heat. The grease isn't going to be able to do its job, and so you're going to have problems down the line. So if you start seeing grease on the outside or the inside, you're going to have to fix that problem. On the inside, that means that you're going to have to take the whole wheel off and replace that inside seal. Okay. But on the outside, usually it's just as simple as this cap here. There are a lot of different hubs have different caps. I'll carry a spare cap with me and make sure that I replace that, because a lot of times the caps will just kind of break occasionally. I haven't had that happen on these nitro trailers for many years, but that is something that can happen on any trailer. Finally, let's talk about tire pressure. That's another huge mistake, and it's something I see a ton of people make. There's no better way to wear your tires down than to have incorrect pressure, whether it's too low or too high. Neither of them are very good, but I mostly see too low. A lot of people just do not keep their tire pressure the correct PSI, and that's going to really affect the way that you wear your tires. You're gonna wear them prematurely, and it's just not safe. And so I like to check my tire pressure every time before I go on a long trip. And if I do have low pressure, what you're going to do is, instead of looking at the tire pressure recommended on the tire, I usually, if I can remember where it's at, oh yeah, it's on this side. I usually check the tire pressure little sticker there on the trailer. That is the most reliable source for the correct PSI for your trailer tires. Of course, it'll say the max PSI on the tires themselves, but the sticker will tell you what the factory recommends. And when it comes to filling up my tires to the correct PSI, I don't leave it up to finding a gas station. I carry a tire air compressor with me. It's a little Ryobi compressor. Love that thing. I'll just hook it up, let it do its deal. It'll automatically shut off. Good to go. But those right there are some of the biggest key mistakes that I see people make. They're super easy to avoid bigger problems. So make sure that you pay attention to these things, especially checking the temperature on the hubs. That's one that I don't see a lot of people do, but it's something that has really saved me a lot of aggravation and headache over the years. So hopefully this helps. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments or questions, comment below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the road and also on the water.